Good evening, folks. We're live at Moorhead Stadium for a big homecoming matchup against the Willis Wildcats. Conroe Tigers about less than 10 minutes from getting on the field. I think we're still waiting for the Conroe fight song, and I will stop talking when they begin to play that. Conroe coming off a big win last week against Caney Creek, 55-14 winners, and that was following a 56-7 victory over Eisenhower.
Our team at Buckaloo Chevrolet works hard every day to deliver a better car buying experience to every single customer. Just check out our reviews. Amazing to work with, great customer service, they really care are just a few of the things our customers are saying about us. So if you're looking for a better selection, a better car buying experience, and of course, a better buy, head to Buckaloo Chevrolet today, one of Houston's fastest growing Chevy dealers. We're on I-45 in Conroe or shop BuckalooChevrolet.com. And remember,
it's a better buy at Buckaloo.
You've got a lot going on, so how do you find time to take care of you? At Houston Methodist, we work around your busy life. There's same-day visits when you're sick, online scheduling with specialists, access to all your records through MyChart, and video visits 24/7 if you need urgent care. Bringing you Houston Methodist's expertise, wherever, whenever you need it.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Or just looking for a place for good, reliable service? Go with the name you know. Gullo Ford, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Toyota. The Gullo family has been serving the Conroe Woodlands area since 1970. So the next time you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or just need service, do yourself a favor and go see Gullo Toyota, Gullo Mazda, and Gullo Ford. Or log on anytime at GulloAuto.com. Gullo, let's drive.
It's not enough to be the leader in robotic-assisted procedures if we're not by your side for every step of your recovery, guiding you back to what makes you, you. Because it's not enough to replace your knee if we're not getting you to the moments that can't be replaced. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
For over 40 years, Wood Forest National Bank has proudly supported the youth and schools of this great community. Our bank has grown through the years, and Montgomery County is our home. With over 30 convenient branch locations right here in Montgomery County, we are your community bank. Next time you're in the area, stop by and say hi. But for now, sit back and enjoy the game.
All right, folks, we are live from Moorhead Stadium, less than 8 minutes to kick off. Of course, it is homecoming night here for the Conroe Tigers. Last year, it was a high-scoring affair at the homecoming game. They beat Oak Ridge 44-41. Tonight, of course, taking on the Willis Wildcats, coming in with a 1-2 record, coming off a 62-28 loss to New Caney last week, the Wildcats are. The week before, they were 34-20 losers at Temple, and they opened the season with a 73-14 victory over Rudder, a high school out of Bryan, Texas. I have not seen a larger crowd at this stadium. All right, everybody's getting ready for a big homecoming matchup tonight. And like I said, I've never seen a bigger crowd here at Morehead Stadium. The stands are starting to get packed up. We still got a huge line outside the gates. Don't let that scare you away if you are on your way down to check out the game in person. I'm sure they'll get you through the gates rather quickly. The team is coming out of the locker room, about to make their dramatic entrance onto the field. Conroe visitors for the first time last week against Caney Creek. They will, of course, be back as the home team tonight, hosting their homecoming matchup against the Willis Wildcats. Conroe with a 2-1 record. They are second in the district as it stands, and Willis coming in with a 1-2 record, and they are tied for 5th in District 13 play, very early in this district season. It's a gorgeous night, about 85 degrees at kickoff. These teams come in with some pretty significant offensive numbers. The Wildcats actually lead the district in total offense, averaging about 442 yards a game. Conroe not very far behind them, just under 400 yards a game, 398 yards a game on offense. However, the story might be on defense. Conroe coming in after last week with the top-rated defense in District 13, allowing less than 250 yards to the opposing offenses. And they come in with a 246 yards against average, whereas Willis allowing about 150 yards more on defense. They're averaging 375 yards a game, giving up on defense. So both sport offenses in this game that can put on some points. Conroe with a slightly better defense on paper. Hopeful that that's the way this homecoming matchup will go. And the Tigers make a big, loud entrance into this stadium. Fans are excited for this homecoming matchup. Conroe in their gold jerseys, black pants and black helmets. And this halftime will be a little bit different in that we'll get the Willis Wildcat Band to play at halftime, and the Conroe Band will actually play immediately after the game. It will be carried live here on the YouTube channel. The Conroe portion of the halftime will be dedicated to the homecoming court and the announcement of the homecoming king and queen. So you'll definitely want to stick around during halftime to catch that. Very excited student section, lots of parents in the stands. There is still room to find seats, but it is getting packed here on the home side of the stadium. And the gate that I'm looking at, which is on the north side of the stadium, but the east end, that line is actually extending all the way to Longmire. If you're familiar with the stadium at all, that's quite a line to get in. So there's excitement around this game, excitement around this Conroe Tigers program this year. Their only loss coming to the 6A runner-ups from last year, Katy Pato, and they only lost 14-3. And most coaches don't play for moral victories, but they can certainly take something away from that opening loss, followed by the 2 wins to bring them in here at 2-1. We're about 2.5 minutes to kick off. I want to take a quick moment to thank the crew who's behind the scenes here. You get to hear me all night. My name is Nick Krall, but I got to give thanks to our site supervisor, Andrew Stewart, and all the people behind the scenes who are making sure this broadcast goes on the air. And that includes Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Nathan Goins, Garrett Rickwalt, Laura Dickey, Eliana Del Aguila, William J. Blackburn. And they make sure this goes out over the air, and I know they do a great job. I have the easy part. I unmute the microphone, I put the headphones on, and I get to watch some Friday Night Football. So I've got it pretty good up here. And I'm going to put myself back on mute so we can enjoy the presentation of the flags and the playing of the national anthem. So I'm going to take a guess and say that was the Conroe High School Choir that presented the national anthem to us, and they did a great job. And I think we'll get the fight song now, so I'll pause it again for y'all. All right, and they've set the game clock to 12 minutes, so we are just waiting for the teams to send their captains to the center of the field for this coin toss so we can get this 2022 homecoming game started. Big homecoming weekend here for the Conroe Tigers. Last year was a successful homecoming game. They were 44-41 winners over Oak Ridge, looking to do something similar this evening against the Willis Wildcats. Turnovers, if they're the story of the game, they fall in Conroe's favor. They come into this game with a +4 turnover ratio, while Willis comes in with a -2 turnover ratio. And again, defense might tell the story in this game, with Conroe coming in with the top-ranked defense in District 13, allowing under 250 yards to opposing offenses per game. Willis comes in with the 7th-ranked defense in district play with 375 yards given up per game, whereas Conroe averages 398 yards per game on offense. Willis can sport the top-rated offense in district play with 442 yards averaged per game, most of that through the air for both teams. DeMarcus Wilridge, one of the captains for Conroe, as is Braylon Thomas, Maddox Rodell, and Lewis Williams. So they'll be out center midfield is what I'm trying to say here for the coin toss. And Willis will receive the first half kickoff. They will defend the west end of the stadium. So they'll be going from right to left, and they will have the first offensive series. Conroe will get the ball to start the second half. So we're just about underway here. It is a gorgeous night at Moorhead Stadium, just about 85 degrees here at kickoff. A little bit of clouds. I don't think there's a threat of rain. I think we'll stay dry tonight. And thank you for finding us on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. Halftime going to be a little bit different this evening, as we'll get the Willis Wildcat Band, followed by all the homecoming proceedings, the announcement of the court, and the announcement of the homecoming king and queen for Conroe. And then stick around immediately after the game. The Conroe Band will perform, and we will carry that live on this YouTube channel. District standings have Conroe in second place, tied with Grand Oaks and the Woodlands with 2-1 records, trailing New Caney, who comes into this weekend undefeated at 3-0. Willis Wildcats 1-2 makes them tied for 5th in district play. Next week, Conroe will be on the road against the Woodlands, and Willis will play host to Grand Oaks. They got to get through this matchup first. Conroe's got the ball on the tee. They are ready to kick off. Willis has 3 men back, 1 on the goal line and 2 men on the 5-yard line. And this homecoming game is underway. The kick is up fairly deep into the end zone. This is out of the back of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and Willis will start their first offensive series from their own 25-yard line. The Wildcats come out in their first offensive series with Hutton Hoegmeyer in the quarterback position. Put a man in motion, they will hand off, and a carry up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for maybe a yard or a yard and a half. Short gain for the Wildcats will bring up 2nd and 9. Tigers will try to make a statement on defense tonight after a successful showing against Caney Creek last week, limiting them to 14 points, and most of those came in the second half, if not all 14 points. Another handoff up the middle, tries to find some running room on the outside, tackled at behind the line of scrimmage, at the original line of scrimmage, so a loss of 1 yard. We'll bring up the first 3rd down for Willis, a 3rd and long. 10 yards for their first down. They'll have to get the ball past the 35-yard line. Willis operates out of a no-huddle offense, so they're quick to the line. 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. The slot receiver in motion, 3 wide receivers as a matter of fact. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Running back to the right of the quarterback in shotgun. Takes the snap, play action pass, looking to his right, finds his man along the sideline, short throws it, incomplete. A quick 3 and out for Willis and Conroe. Forcing a quick 3 and out on this homecoming Friday night. Very little time off the clock. There's 10:44 left in this first quarter. Back to punt. Punter standing on his own 10-yard line. Conroe about midfield to receive this punt. It's kind of a low punt, gonna hit on the Willis side of the field, bounce past the 50, and it's down at the 49-yard line. So great field position for Conroe on their first offensive series of the night. They typically run a fast-paced offense. We'll see what they come out and throw at the Willis Wildcats. Tigers will start at their own 49-yard line as they get to the line of scrimmage. They'll play with a tight formation and triple wide receivers to the right of the line. Quarterback in the shotgun with the running back to his left. It is a handoff. It is actually a reverse to number 3. That's the wide receiver, Lewis Williams, and he has the first down around the left side before being forced out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Picks up some good blocks on his way to that first down. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Willis 39-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield with the quarterback. Takes the snap. It is a play-action pass. Pass complete to number 13. Takes it on the outside and forced out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. That pass complete to Nigel Leday. Javarius Hatchett, the senior quarterback for the Conroe Tigers, with the completion. And Hatchett comes in as the second-ranked passer in district, averaging, well, he's got 731 yards on the season. This is a handoff on the left side of the line, and he dives forward for the first down to about the 28-27-yard line. That'll move the chains and stop the clock temporarily. Actually, the clock will run at 10:15. And a new set of downs for the Tigers. Effectively moving the ball against this Willis Wildcats defense. Quick to the line with 4 wide receivers. This is a handoff up the middle. Gets some good blocks by his linemen. Plenty of room to run. It looks like a fumble at the end of that play. Not an official call, although now they are saying it was a fumble recovered by the Wildcats. That's a costly turnover, as Conroe was showing a good ability to move the ball against that defense. So an unfortunate fumble and recovery by Willis stops that promising drive from Conroe. With 9 minutes and 57 seconds left in the quarter, it's a 0-0 game still, as Willis takes the field for their second offensive possession of the game. Wildcats will go with 3 wide receivers set. It's a play action pass. Quarterback dropping, looks to his right across the middle of the field, finds his man in stride to the 40, down to the 30, caught from behind and brought down at the 25. It's a fumble, but he says fumble caused by the ground. It would not have been recovered by Conroe anyway, as it fumbled out of bounds, but they'll place the spot of the ball where the player was tackled at about the 22-yard line. A big gain for the Wildcats. From the Conroe 22, quickly to the line. It's 1st and 10. And it is an option pitch behind the line of scrimmage, taken down for a 3-yard loss. The Conroe defense played that perfectly. Maddox Rodell, the senior linebacker, with the tackle. And it'll be a 2nd and 13 for the Wildcats with just over 9 minutes left in this quarter. It's a pistol formation, running back behind the quarterback in the shotgun, puts his wide receiver in motion. It's a handoff up the middle. A little bit of running room, brings it to the original line of scrimmage with maybe a yard past that before being tackled. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Willis deep in Conroe territory. They're on the 21-yard line. They're facing another 3rd and long. Quarterback takes the snap, looking for the end zone. Into the end zone. It is well defended and swatted away. Conroe defense with another big stop on 3rd down. That'll bring up 4th and 9. So it'll be interesting to see if Willis has the foot to attempt this field goal, and it looks like they will attempt this field goal, which will make it about a 38-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up and just through the uprights. So a 38-yard field goal, good for the Willis Wildcats, gives them an early 3-0 lead over the Conroe Tigers with 8 minutes and 27 seconds left in this first quarter of homecoming. Willis Wildcats come in coached by Trent Miller, while of course Conroe is led by Cedric Hardiman. A big district game for both teams, as Willis looks to even their record at 2-2, while Conroe looks to extend their winning streak to 3 games and move their record to 3-1. It is a huge crowd tonight at Moorhead Stadium. The stands are already packed with people, and we have lines outside the stadium still waiting to get in here in the first quarter. 8:27 left. Lots of mums out today as well tonight, as you would expect on this homecoming weekend. Larger than some of the children that I see in the stands, but of course everybody's more than aware of that. Wildcats will kick off. 3 men back for Conroe. This one is short, and it's going to be fielded at the 11-yard line. Bobbled a little bit before recovered, up to the 21-yard line, brought down at the 22 or 23-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 23. So a longer field than their first possession. Conroe was having success moving the ball against the Willis Wildcat defense. However, a fumble stopped the drive short of a score. And the Wildcats capitalize on the turnover with a field goal, putting them up early 3-0. 8:21 left in the first quarter. Conroe with their second offensive series. Javarius Hatchett in shotgun, looking to throw, has time, scrambles around, finds some running room, and very shifty to get past the 30-yard line, brought down at about the 30.5-yard line. Good carry by the quarterback, brings up 2nd down and about 3 yards, so a 7-yard carry. quarterback up to the line, communicating to his line, and they've got 4 wide receivers and 1 running back. Number 13 in motion. It's a pitch to number 5. He makes a first down run and across the 40 before being brought down at about the 42-yard line. Tigers have not really struggled to pick up the first down this evening so far. Their only hiccup being the fumble on their first offensive series. Back at it with a new set of downs. Sideline shows second down, but it is in fact 1st and 10. Quarterback rolls to his left, looking to throw. Going to keep it around the left side and runs out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him short of the 45 at about the 44, so a 2-yard pickup. Nothing doing too much on that play. Bring up 2nd and 8. Stops the clock at 7 minutes, 18 seconds. It's a handoff and some running room up the middle. Dips his shoulder and makes even more progress on that run past the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. More than enough for the first down. They'll move the chains and reset it for first down. Tigers on the Wildcat 38-yard line with just over a couple ticks over 7 minutes left in this quarter. Quickly to the line, they'll go with a 4 wide receiver set. Shotgun snap is good. It is a handoff to number 7. Has some running room up the middle. Stiff arm thrown, and he picks up 11 yards on that carry for another first down. Jermico Green is only a sophomore, and he is the leading rusher for this Conroe Tigers team. 168 yards on the season and 3 touchdowns. He'll get a little bit of a breather. Nick Medina and Cameron Thomas in the backfield. It is a handoff to number 5. He has some running room to the left, and he breaks some tackles to the corner of the end zone, looking to make it in, makes it down to about the 2-yard line before being forced out of bounds. A really strong run. By Cameron Thomas. That'll bring up a 1st and goal. They marked him out of bounds, it looks like at the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. And that's where they will take this snap as they try to get their first points on the board with just over 6 minutes left in this quarter. It is a handoff. Number 5 looking for some running room. Nothing going. Makes it maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard loss, depending on the spot. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. Looks like Conroe has 2 wide receivers set, 2 running backs. And this is a handoff up the middle, looking for some blocks. Not enough to make it into the end zone. Gets down to maybe the 2-yard line on that carry, and that'll bring up an important 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 2. Conroe right back to the line of scrimmage. Two wide receiver, 2 running back set. The snap is a little high, but the handoff is good. Number 1 finding his way, or number 5, excuse me, finding his way into the end zone. Cameron Thomas with the touchdown for the Conroe Tigers. Conroe with their first points on the board, 6-3, pending this extra point. And in 2 offensive possessions, Conroe having a lot of offensive success against this Willis Wildcat defense. So a great drive from their own 24-yard line. Extra point kick is up. I think he split the uprights there, and he did. So that makes the Conroe lead 7-3 over Willis with 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in this first quarter. So they had confused me with the sort of crossing pattern by the running backs in the backfield. It was number 5, Cameron Thomas with the touch and the 2-yard touchdown. Next week, Conroe will be at Woodforest Bank Stadium to take on the Woodlands High School. And Willis will be back home to play host to Grand Oaks. District play well underway. Homecoming here at Conroe. So this halftime we'll have the coronation, I believe that is the term, coronation of the homecoming king and queen. And then the Conroe Tiger Band will play immediately following the game tonight to allow for those homecoming activities during halftime. Willis back to receive this kickoff with 3 men back. The middle Wildcat on the end zone line, goal line, and the 2 others outside the hash marks at the 5-yard line. Ball is on the tee, ready to be kicked off. 7-3 Conroe lead, 4:46 left in this quarter. And it is a line drive kick. This is going to bounce just short of the goal line. It's fielded in the end zone, looking for some running room. Past a couple Tigers, slips the tackle, brought down just short of the 25-yard line. They'll mark this at the 23-yard line. So after 2 offensive series, Willis has punted once and kicked a 38-yard field goal. That's their 3 points on the night. This will be their 3rd offensive possession as they received the kickoff to start the game. Conroe defense coming in with the #1 defense in the district, looking to shut down this Wildcat offense. It is a quarterback keep around the right side, fooled everybody before being brought down just past the first down marker short of the 35-yard line. They'll mark him at the 34, but they'll move the chains and give Willis a new set of downs. The line to get in the stadium still pretty long, but it is not all the way to Longmire anymore. They may have to make their way to the visitors' bleachers to find a spot to sit. They are packed in here tonight. Quarterback keeper again, this time up the middle. Brought down at the 40-yard line will bring up a 2nd and 4. Willis using a 4 wide receiver set, 3 to the right, 1 split wide left. And it is a timeout Conroe with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Conroe with a 7-3 lead over the Wildcats. It really is a great night for a homecoming game. And a great weekend for all the homecoming activities. I know they had the parade earlier this week. Of course, the big game tonight, the announcement of the homecoming king and queen, the dance tomorrow. And the biggest moms you could possibly imagine as we now get a shot of the stands and how packed in they are tonight. It's a great crowd here at Moorhead Stadium. Students and parents enjoying themselves on this beautiful evening in Montgomery County. Just a few minutes away from sunset. 84 degrees right now. And we're coming out of the timeout. Just under 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Conroe 7, Willis 3. It's 2nd and 4 from Willis's 40-yard line. From the shotgun, the snap is good. It's a play-action pass to the right side. It's complete and past the first down marker, just short of the 50-yard line, out of bounds at the 48, but enough to move the chains for the Wildcats. Not quite past midfield. Willis will get a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from their own 48. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to his right. This is a handoff up the middle, stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. This will be marked at the line of scrimmage. No gain, bringing up a 2nd and 10. 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter. A little bit of a low snap. Quarterback controls it. Pass over the middle, past the 40-yard line, and complete for another first down. They'll mark it at the Conroe 36-yard line. Willis not afraid to air it out tonight against the Tigers. They'll stay in that 4 wide receiver set. It is a quarterback keeper, and he will be hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down for no gain. Not sure if that's a true RPO play, but it is certainly an option play. Quarterback looked a bit indecisive whether or not to keep it or to hand it off on that. Put number 8 in motion. This one is a quarterback option pitch to number 8, looking for some running room. They well defend it, and they will limit him to a 2-yard gain. And then I'll bring up a 3rd and long with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first quarter. Willis faced with a 3rd and 7. Conroe looking for a big 3rd down stop, trying to get some men switched out on defense. And they've got him off the field in time. Quarterback looking to throw to his left, nobody to go to, scrambles to his right, throws off his back leg. It's an interception. Not a very well thought out throw, as he did not have his feet set. He threw off his back foot, and that was short-armed. Conroe Tiger right there, well defended. And a big turnover for the Tigers, their first turnover of the night. They'll take over from their own 32-yard line. Big turnover for the Conroe defense, as the Tigers have a 7-3 lead here in the first quarter. Just under 2 minutes left to play, 1:52 left on the clock for this first quarter. Conroe offense back out on the field. They'll have a 3 wide receivers set to the left. They put the slot man in motion to the right and back towards the quarterback. It's a play action pass. Quarterback sets his feet, looking deep, has a man on the sideline. I think he got his foot in. They say no catch, out of bounds. That was a close call, and he had a better set of eyes than I had on it, but I thought he got a foot in bounds before stepping out of bounds with that second foot. Well-placed throw. He had 2 men on him. He had the coverage beat. It was a decent throw, but about a foot too much on it, perhaps. No argument from the Conroe side, so we're 2nd and 10. They put the man in motion. This is a handoff to number 7. He's got some running room. He drops his shoulder, leans forward past the 40 and down to about the 41-yard line. That's going to be a couple yards short of the first down, but makes it more manageable here on 3rd down. With 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter, it'll be a 3rd down and a long 1. More like 2 yards to go. And they go off sides on defense. They're going to blow it dead. Conroe was trying for the free play there. Got the snap off quick. Defensive lineman made contact with the offensive line of Conroe, so this has to go against Willis. I did not see movement on the Conroe side. So they get the first down the easy way, and it's from a defensive penalty. So they'll mark off 5 yards, which will bring it past the 45 and to the Conroe 46-yard line. New set of downs. It is 1st and 10, 1:15 left in this quarter. Conroe leads 7-3. This possession coming off an interception from the Tiger defense. 4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side, 1 running back in the backfield. Shotgun snap, looks to his right, has his man wide open, number 3 with the catch, a beautiful catch. They're saying no catch. He bobbled the ball on the way down. I did not see the bobble, but there is, again, no argument from the Conroe side, so that must have been the way it happened. Really great athletic effort from Lewis Williams. But allowed incompletion. 2nd and 10. This is a handoff, number 7. Puts his arm out, finds some running room, trying to make it to midfield. Met by a mob of tacklers at the 49, and that's where they'll mark him down. We are inside a minute in this first quarter, about 40 seconds left. A big 3rd down play coming up, 3rd and 7. Conroe's going to have to get it to the Willis 44-yard line for the 1st down. Personnel changes on the Tigers side. As they're having some trouble communicating. As they're trying to get set on offense. There's 8 seconds left on the play clock, quickly coming down to 5 seconds. And they get the snap off. It is a handoff pass to number 13. He's got some running room, forced out of bounds near the 25-yard line. And a great play to pick up that 1st down as time expires on this first quarter. So it looked like a reverse. And he pulls back and throws complete to Nigel Leday. All right, so after 1 quarter, Conroe leads Willis 7-3. And when we come back and they're on the other side of the field, they'll be going from the right to the left, and they'll be trying to score into the east end zone. And I got to give it to the people who are working the gate tonight. They had a crowd that extended all the way through the parking lot down to Longmire, and now they have no line. They've gotten everybody into the stadium. We are packed in here tonight. The home side, not really a spot to sit in. A couple random spots here and there, but I see a few people making their way onto the quote-unquote visitor side just to have a spot to sit. And Willis is well represented tonight as well. Lots of purple on the south side of the stadium. But lots of black and gold on the home side of the stadium, as you might expect tonight on homecoming night. Conroe looking to extend their homecoming winning streak. Last year, 44-41 winners over Oak Ridge. And as we get ready to start this second quarter, they are on top 7-3 over the Wildcats. 1 turnover for each team, and this drive by Conroe is coming off an interception that the Conroe defense had. And they'll try to capitalize with some points off that turnover. It's 1st and 10 from the Willis 28-yard line. Quarterback looking to throw, looks to his left, has a man in the corner, and it's intercepted at the 2-yard line. Number 9 for Willis, Amari Holmes with the interception. He kind of just jumped that pattern. As the quarterback released, it looked like the wide receiver had the angle on that ball. The defender came in front of that and picked it off. So a very promising drive yet again from Conroe. They have not struggled to move the ball against this Willis defense. However, 2 costly turnovers early in this game for Conroe is creating a much closer game than they'd like at this point. 7-3, Conroe leads. Willis taking over deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Quarterback in the shotgun, several yards into the end zone. They'll look to run and get some space. He is brought down at the goal line. They tried to swing him back into the end zone and get credit for his safety there. However, a pretty generous spot will put it back to the line of scrimmage at the 2-yard line. It looked like a 1-yard loss from up here, but a run for no gain will also be acceptable in this instant, as they're still deep inside their own territory and in the end zone for this snap. Conroe defense looking to be aggressive. And it's a sweep handoff to number 8. He does get the corner and a little bit of breathing room, maybe a yard gain to bring it out to the 3-yard line, but not much doing on that. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 9. We are just starting the second quarter here, 11 minutes left. Tigers 7, Wildcats 3.
Looking to throw on this third down, has a man deep on the sideline, well overthrown and out of bounds, so a quick 3 and out. Willis playing fairly conservative from that field position. And this will be a tough one to punt from the 3-yard line. Punter will be right at the back of the end zone. He's got to watch his feet to make sure he doesn't take that extra step. An automatic 2 for Conroe if he does, and this snap is super important as well. It is a good snap. Punter gets it off, but barely. It's going to be a short punt fielded at the 39-yard line, brought up to the 35 and the 30, picks up a block to the 20, breaks it to the 10, 5. He's in for a touchdown off the punt, a punt return, special teams touchdown. And that is a great way to respond, coming off of a costly interception, but then a great defensive stand to keep the Willis Wildcats deep in their own territory, which resulted in that short punt and a punt return of 38 yards for a touchdown. Extra point attempt. It's a good snap, good hold, and the kick is right through the middle of the uprights. Conroe goes up 14-3 on the Wildcats. We are early in the second quarter. And as I've said, this stadium is packed, and I've never seen it or heard it as loud as it got on that particular play, which just makes these Friday night games that much more exciting when you can experience with all the people who are enjoying this Conroe homecoming game. We got a wind blowing out of the south. We've got some clouds building up, it looks like, to the south of us. I do not think we have much of a threat of rain tonight. Should be just about a perfect night for some Friday night football. So we've got 10 minutes and 31 seconds to play in this first half. Conroe 14, Willis 3. Conroe will get the ball to start the second half. They'll try to get some more points tacked on between now and then. Conroe defense showing up when needed. A big turnover of their own and a 3 and out as well. They've held Willis to 3 points. Willis will send 2 people back to receive this kickoff. A third if you count the man who is on the 14-yard line. We've got someone on the goal line and another on the 5. Tigers playing with some good energy tonight. This kickoff is a line drive, recovered at the 5, brought up to the 20, and hit at the 22-yard line. Falls down at the 24, and that's where the Wildcats will start this drive. From their own 24-yard line. So they're throwing t-shirts into the stands. The grown people should not fight the children for the t-shirts. As a rule of thumb, let the kids grab the t-shirt. Wildcats set up with a 4 wide receiver set, 1 running back in the back. Quick snap, quick throw. This one is a tip drill. Either off the helmet, hands, or shoulder pads of a Conroe defender. And incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Wildcats staying with the 4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side. They put the right slot in motion. It's a play action pass. There is some pressure on the quarterback, rolls to his right, throws across the middle into the sideline. It is complete before stepping out of bounds on the Conroe side of the field. They'll mark it at about the 40-yard line. Oh no, I beg your pardon. They're going to put this back at the 47-yard line. Still on the Conroe side of the ball, or side of the field. 10 minutes, 12 seconds left to play. Quick snap, handoff. One of those indecisive quarterback keep. Should I hand it off? Both of them trying to hold on to it. Neither making much progress. 1 yard loss on that carry, as a matter of fact. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. We're inside of 10 minutes left in this half. Conroe 14, Willis 3. The defense looking to hold the Wildcats on this drive. It is a pump fake. Quarterback keeps to the right side, runs out of bounds just past the 45-yard line. They'll mark him at the 43, maybe the 44. They'll call it the 45-yard line, so it'll bring up 3rd and 8. Big 3rd down for the Tigers. They'll split 3 wide receivers to the left, keep 1 to the right. Tries to draw the Tigers offside. They are not biting on the snap count from the Wildcats. Back in shotgun. This time takes the snap. Play action pass. Rolls to his right, looking to run. Throws it, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Good defensive series for the Tigers. Wildcats look to the sideline. Too much to gain to get this first down, so they're sending out the punt team. And a great job by the Tiger defense. 9 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in this second quarter. Conroe will look to add to their 11-point lead, 14-3. And we've got 1 punt return for a touchdown. This one will be set up at the 10-yard line, it looks like, and he called for a fair catch. Then he tried to make a couple of moves, but they'll mark it as a fair catch down at the 12-yard line. We are just inside 9.5 minutes left in this half. A score by the Tigers would be fantastic here to extend their lead over the Wildcats. They currently lead 14-3. And the Tigers will come out of their huddle. Typically play with a fast-paced offense as they'll get to the line and usually keep the same personnel out. They've got triple wide receivers to the left. They put a man in motion. It'll be a handoff up the middle. There is some room to run past the 20-yard line, brought down at the 20 for a gain of about 6 yards. And the Tigers will quickly get to the line on this 2nd and 3. Just about 9 minutes left to play. 4 wide receiver set from the shotgun. Drops the pass, quick throw to his right, through the hands of the intended target. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. They need 3, maybe 4 yards to get this first down. It looks like they have to get it to about the 24-yard line. Maybe the 23. They're on their own 20-yard line right now as they're looking to the sideline for the play call. Clock stopped at 8:54. Puts his wide receiver in motion. It is a pitch to number 5. Takes around the outside on the right side of the line. Gets no gain, forced out of bounds at the 20, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Conroe will have to punt this away. Not much doing on that offensive series. That's the first offensive series the Tigers have had where they have not had success moving the ball against this Wildcat defense. So they'll bring it to the sidelines and figure out what adjustments they have to make to continue moving the ball against Willis and extend this 14-3 lead that they have here in the first half of this homecoming game. 8 minutes and 49 seconds left
as Conroe gets ready to punt deep in their own territory. Wildcats set up on their own 45 for this punt. It's a bad snap, barely gets the punt off. It hits a Conroe Tiger in the leg at the line of scrimmage before being fallen on. So that is where Willis will take over. And this is the best field position the Wildcats have had tonight. They will start this series from the Conroe 14-yard line, following the low punt snap. And the punter, for what it's worth, managed to pick it up and got a foot on it. He just didn't get any air beneath it, and it went right into a Conroe Tiger who had a fall on it to prevent something worse from happening. We'll see what the Wildcats can do with this field position. They're looking to throw wide open in the end zone for a quick score on the slant. And with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in this second quarter, Willis will tack on 6 points to make this a 14-9 game, except there is flag on the field. So that's why they haven't updated the scoreboard yet. Let's see what the call is. And a very unfortunate holding call for the Willis Wildcats offense. That brings that touchdown pass off the board and brings them 10 yards back from their excellent opening field position there. So they're now on the 24-yard line, and they're looking at a 1st and 20. 4 wide receiver set. They put the left slot man in motion. He will take the handoff. There is no room to run. He tries to go back the other way. He might have some room to run on the left side as he gets around the end and past the defenders before being brought down near the original line of scrimmage at the 14-yard line. So a busted play that could have been brought down in the backfield. Some creative running, doubles back, and gets 10 yards on that carry. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. 8:29 left in the quarter. 2 wide receivers on either side. It's a low snap. Quarterback able to handle it. Looking to run to his right, rolling to his right. There is another flag. It's an incomplete pass. The where that flag was thrown will almost certainly be another holding call against Willis, and that is what the call will be. So they gain 10 on the run, and it'll come back 10 on the holding penalty. A couple of big holding penalties on this series is stalling out anything that Willis can get started. It is going to remain 2nd down, and it'll be a long 2nd and 19. They stay with the 4 wide receiver set, 2 on either side. Looking across the middle. Quarterback throws and complete in the end zone for the score over the outstretched hands of the defender. In fact, I thought that was well positioned to swat that ball down, but it found the crease it needed, and Willis will put 6 on the board. It's a 14-9 Conroe lead pending this extra point try. The snap is good. The kick is up and plenty of foot behind it. Gets another point for Willis. And we have a 14-10 game. Conroe holding on with 8 minutes and 15 seconds left. So a special teams hiccup by the Conroe punting unit gives Willis the short field. Willis tried to put themselves back against the wall with a couple of holding penalties, but they find the end zone with that pass to come within 4 of the Tigers here on homecoming night at Moorhead Stadium. We do carry the halftime shows. Tonight you'll get the Willis Wildcat Band, followed by the homecoming announcements, which will include the homecoming court
and the announcement of this year's homecoming king and homecoming queen. And then the Conroe Tiger Band will play immediately following the game, and that will be carried on this YouTube channel as well. Plenty of time left in this half, 8 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact, for Conroe to march down the field and put some more points on the board before they make their halftime adjustments. They've got 3 people back, positioned between the 10 and the 2-yard line. This kicker from the left hash marks, squib kick on the ground, fielded at the 13-yard line, looking for some running room, able to bring it up past the 20 before being brought down at the 23-yard line. That's where Conroe will start this series with just over 8 minutes left in the half, leading 14-10 over the Wildcats. Conroe looking to extend their record to 3-1. Only loss coming in that first week against Katy Paetow. And as most people watching this broadcast know, Katy Paetow, 6A runners-up in state last year. So that is certainly not a loss to hang your head on. And a couple of huge victories for Conroe to follow that opening loss. Looking to go 3-1 tonight with a homecoming victory over the Wildcats in district play. This one is a pitch to number 5. He cuts it inside and finds plenty of running room. They're struggling to take him down as he gets a 12-yard gain on that carry. There's a late flag coming in the backfield. A little too late for a holding call. There's a Willis player down, and we don't have a call from the officials as to what the flag is for. So we'll stop the clock with 8 minutes and 2 seconds left. And we'll see what the officials threw the flag for as the trainers attend to the player down. As the officials conference, I do not know what this flag might be for. It came late in the play, well behind the line of scrimmage. And a big round of applause for the Wildcat as he gets himself to the sideline tonight. Still no call on the field as to what the penalty is, but I think we're about to get it. For officials in conference now communicating with the umpire what the call is going to be. They're calling it a personal foul, but they haven't indicated which side this is going against. Be costly against Conroe if it is against Conroe. They just picked up a first down with a 12-yard carry. So let's see if this will be added on to that carry or taken back. So this was a personal foul call against Conroe, 15-yard penalty. We'll bring this all the way back to the 20-yard line, where they will have a new set of downs. And they have to make sure they have the chains set up right, as they were indicating a 1st and 15, but I believe this should be a 1st and 10 even after the penalty. So there is some communicating going on the sidelines there, and they're going to get the chains right. So this is a 1st and 10. But a big 15-yard penalty against the Tigers puts them back on their own 20-yard line with 7 minutes and 55 seconds left. Looking to throw across the middle, just out of reach of the intended target. Number 5, Cameron Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Not a lot of time off the clock. Just under 8 minutes left in the half. Snaps a little high, quarterback can control it. It's a handoff to number 7, who makes it up the middle for a gain of about 5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down with 5 to go. Tigers will have to get it past the 30-yard line for the 1st down. And early in this game, they showed a lot of ability to move against this Wildcat defense. They've been slowed down a bit, and some of that self-inflicted with penalties. They've got a 5 wide receiver set, empty backfield. Quarterback, quick throw to his right through the hands of the receiver, Lewis Williams. And that'll bring up 4th down, so Conroe going to have to punt following this possession. Started out promising with a 12-yard run, negated with a 15-yard personal foul penalty, and they'll be punting from deep in their own territory. Punter setting back at about the 10-yard line, and the punt returner for the Wildcats setting up on his own 40-yard line. Looking for a better snap than last time. This one is on target, and this punt is blocked by the Wildcats and recovered at about the 12-yard line by the Wildcats. So 2 special teams mistakes, depending on perspective, or special teams play, if you're looking at it from the Wildcats sideline, that results in a very short field for the Wildcats. So Conroe struggling a bit with their punt team, and the Wildcats going to try to take advantage of that as they start on the Tigers' 11-yard line. So they'll have a couple of chances to get in with the 1st and 10, and all they got to do is get to the 2-yard line for a new set of downs. This is a handoff up the middle. They won't need anything but the 1 as they break the goal line and score on the ground for their first lead of the night, 16-14 over the Tigers, as they set up for the point after try. And the kick is up and good, extending the lead to 17-14. 14 unanswered points from the Willis Wildcats, but plenty of time left in the 2nd quarter. 6:59 on the clock as the Tigers will get another chance to retake the lead before the half. The lines to get in the stadium have diminished, and there is no line, but I'm not sure that there is any silver showing from the bleachers as I look down on this big, giant homecoming crowd here at Moorhead Stadium. This is the place to be tonight, obviously. And we will find out some big announcements at halftime for the homecoming king, homecoming queen, the whole homecoming court, I would imagine, and then you'll get the Conroe band performance immediately following this game. Both teams, Willis has 3 timeouts left. Conroe's already spent 1 of theirs, but they do have 2 timeouts left. 6 minutes, 59 seconds left in this first half. Conroe going to try to regain the momentum on this drive. They came out really moving the ball well against the Wildcat defense. They've stalled out a little bit recently. Some penalties to blame for that. This is another squib kick. It's touched by a Conroe Tiger, which is a bit dangerous, making it a live ball, but then it goes out of bounds and actually ends up in a decent position for the Tigers. They'll take over on their own 30-yard line. $70 yards to try to get it across the end zone and take the lead into halftime. Tigers still have the 4 wide receiver set, running back in the backfield. Quarterback looks to his left to throw. A little bit of time. There is a flag thrown. It looks like it might be for holding. Quarterback tries to get some positive yards, maybe 2 yards on the gain. But it looks like this one will probably come back. This one will actually go against Willis, is what I believe. Oh, there's a personal foul call. Hands to the face, I believe is what the call was, but that's a 15-yard penalty, so costly for Willis, fortuitous for Conroe, as they will get the ball close to midfield from their own 48-yard line, so they moved it back a yard. They're going to have to readjust those chains. But a new set of downs, 1st and 10. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this second quarter. They put a man in motion into the backfield. Quarterback drops. It is a screen to Lewis Williams. It is incomplete. And that'll stop the clock with 6:35 left in the second quarter. Several throws, not quite on target, a couple drop passes. Kind of surprising as the Tigers were connecting early and often on offense. A big run up the middle through a couple of arm tackles. Likes to throw that stiff arm to get about 3 extra yards at the end of a run and brings it up to the 45-yard line across midfield and onto the Wildcat side of the field. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Excuse me, 3rd down and 3 to go. Tigers have to get it to the 42-yard line to pick up a new set of downs. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, man in motion from the right. It is a handoff and a misdirection play. They were able to score on that same play earlier, but only a pickup of about a yard, maybe 2. And this will bring up an interesting call on 4th down. They are past midfield on the Willis side, but not too deep, at about the 43-yard line. They just need a yard gained to get that 1st down, and it does look like they will try to get the 1st down. I imagine maybe trying to call Willis off sides. They're going to take a minute to figure it out. I'm not sure what the call is, if there was a timeout. Maybe an official timeout. No word on the field, but they've stopped the clock at 5:41. What they're going to do is bring out the chains. The initial spot made it seem short. Perhaps it was requested to find out where, in fact, how much they're going to need to pick this up, and it looks like it is about a yard. And we'll bring up 4th down and a yard to go. So Conroe coming up to the line of scrimmage with a big 4th down. They just need to pick up 1 yard. They will still operate out of the shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield. And Willis will use their first timeout of the half. There's 5 minutes and 33 seconds left to play. Willis with their first lead of the game following their last touchdown. They're up 17-14 on the Tigers. The Tigers going to try to take advantage of a personal foul penalty against the Willis Wildcats, which gave them the field position that they are now operating from, which is on the Willis side of the field. The 43-yard line is where Conroe will take over coming out of this timeout. And they'll need 1 yard to keep this series going. It is a 4th down play when they come out of the timeout. You see the huge student section on the screen right now. And they've brought it tonight. Not much space to find a seat if you're late arriving. And even the visitor side has really filled in. I think primarily with some spillover from the home side of this stadium. All right, we come out of the timeout. This is a big play, folks. 4th and 1. Trailing by 3. Tigers would love to keep this series going early in the game. Two wide receiver set, 2 running backs. It will be a handoff. There is some room to run. Number 1 making his way to the first down. Nick Medina with the carry. More than enough to get that first down. They'll move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Another important first down for the Tigers with just a little bit more than 5 minutes left in this first half. They're trailing 3, 17-14, looking to retake the lead on this drive. Number 11 back to fast pass, big arm, throws into double coverage. He found his wide receiver, Lewis Williams, but the good coverage makes it very difficult for Williams to come down with that pass as it falls incomplete and brings up 2nd down. Stops the clock with 5:01 left in the quarter. Both teams with 2 timeouts left in the first half. Back to the 5 wide receiver set. Empty backfield. Quarterback keeper has some running room, jukes it to the left, picks up some big yards down to the 20-yard line before he goes out of bounds. Right at the 19-yard line, so in the red zone with just under 5 minutes left to go. Shifty running by Javarius Hatchett. Javarius Hatchett, starting quarterback for Conroe, having a good start to the year, operating from the shotgun. He will take the snap and hand off to number 1, who has a lot of running room. That offensive line creating some big holes as he barrels ahead and gets about a 9-yard gain down to the 10-yard line and brings up a 2nd and 1 with 4.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Three wide receivers to the right, slot in motion. Quarterback rolls to his right, and is a short arm throw. I believe it hits the ground and incomplete. So a little bit off target. Stops the clock at 4:17, brings up a 3rd down and 1. This would probably be close enough for a field goal attempt. However, it's a very short yard that they would have to pick up, so it might be 2 yards to play with here. That is a null conversation as number 1 makes it to the 5-yard line. That's Mitch Melton. Oh, excuse me, that's Nick Medina on the carry. And that'll give them another first down, and this is 1st and goal from the 5. And there are 4 minutes left to go in the first half here at Moorhead Stadium. Conroe trailing 14-17. It's a handoff to number 1. He has some room to run, brings it all the way down to the 1-yard line before being brought down just short of the goal line. We'll bring up 2nd and goal, just 1 yard to go to get it into the end zone. Conroe plays the hurry-up offense. From under center, quarterback keeper sneaks his way into the end zone, although a very quick timeout from the Willis sideline negates that play. And it'll stop the clock at 3:27. Willis down to their final timeout. Willis holding on to a 17-14 lead. 3:27 left. Conroe getting a breather and a good chance to come up with their 1-yard play that'll get them in the end zone here to take the lead back from the Wildcats. It's been an entertaining first half, and a reminder that you will not get the Conroe Band at halftime. They will play immediately following the game. Our halftime this evening will consist of the Willis Band performance, followed by the homecoming activities and announcements of the homecoming court, and then the announcements of the homecoming king and queen for this homecoming weekend. Plenty of well-dressed students ready to present them their best selves at the half, so make sure you stay with us to enjoy those festivities. We are out of the halftime, or excuse me, we're out of the timeout. Conroe set up with 4 wide receivers. Lewis Williams moving to the slot, and he gets free into the end zone. There is a flag on this play. It was complete into the end zone. I think it's good that the penalty will negate it. I don't like the call if it's going to be pass interference on the offense. Guess that designed play included a pick of some sort. I didn't think it was an egregious penalty. The officials see it differently. So they're going to get a 15-yard penalty, and that is costly. They were on the 1-yard line. They'll now be on the 16. They repeat the second down, but it is second and goal, so they need all 16 yards to get into the end zone here. No chance to pick up a first down. They've got to cross the goal line. They've got a couple of opportunities to do it with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first half, trailing 17-14. Tigers have 4 wide receivers. This is a pitch to number 1. Has some running room, trying to make it to the 5. Brought down just short of the 5-yard line. And they'll mark him at about the 6. I believe that was Nick Medina on the carry. Javarius Hatchett, the quarterback, getting instructions to his offensive line. He's back in the shotgun. This is a big 3rd down play. They need all 7 yards. No chance for a first down. They need the touchdown. Quarterback snap, looks immediately into the end zone for number 5. The throw's a little bit off target. Wildcat looking for the flag. There will be no flag on that play. It brings up 4th down. It looks like they will attempt a field goal as they try to get this score tied at 17. Currently leading by 3 with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in this second quarter. And Conroe making sure they have the right personnel out, which they do now. This will be a 29-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. And Willis is going to use their final timeout. I find that a bit interesting. Perhaps to ice the kicker. I could see no other reason for that, but they'll have 2.5 minutes left to operate. And it seems like you'd want to hold on to one of those timeouts on what might amount to your final drive of the half. Willis has scored 14 unanswered. They got off to a 3-0 lead before Conroe took the 14-3 lead. And then a couple of unfortunate special teams plays resulted in a short field for Willis and a quick score on their last possession. That is where we currently stand, 17-14. Coming out of this timeout with 2:34 left, Conroe attempting a 29-yard field, or excuse me, this is actually a 24-yard field goal that they'll be trying. Ball will be placed at the 14-yard line by the holder. It's a kind of a low snap. He gets the ball down and held. That's a good job. Actually, it goes wide right. from the press box. It looked like he made it inside the right upright and a little bit wide. So we'll have the score stay the same for us, 17-14. And Willis will take over from the 14-yard line. I take that back. They get it spotted at the 20. 80 yards to score. A little bit less if they opt for a field goal. 2 minutes, 28 seconds to operate. No timeouts for Willis. Conroe would love a turnover. Tigers with an interception already. And a run up the middle, up to about the 27-yard line. They'll mark him at the 28, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 2. Quickly to the line. Just over 2 minutes left. This is also another handoff, looking for some running room, nothing going. Actually brought down. They'll give him a generous spot and say he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was a bit of a loss, but they'll give him credit for no gain. Bring up a 3rd and 2. Clock is ticking, and we are inside 2 minutes. It's 1:45 left. A big 3rd down for the Tiger defense. If they can get a stop here, they might get another chance at getting points before the half. Willis with no timeouts left. Look to the sideline. Conroe defensive line makes an adjustment of their own. Quarterback keeper has some room to run, picked a block, but that Conroe defense closed in quick on that. Not quick enough, however. Just over the 30-yard line to pick up that 1st down. They'll mark him at the 31. Clock is ticking. Willis has no way to stop it with a timeout. So we're getting close to a minute left. They're at their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. And I believe we have a timeout on the Conroe sideline. So Conroe with their 2nd timeout gives them 1 left in this half. If they get the ball back, they might want to use that, but there's 1:02 left. Lewis looking at 1st and 10. Conroe hoping for a turnover. One more chance to get some points on the board. This has been a close game, although it didn't start out as a close game. Conroe with 14 unanswered points of their own following a Willis field goal that put up the Wildcats early 3-0, 14-3 for a while before Willis responded with 14 unanswered points of their own. And that's where we stand now, 17-14. There will be 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the clock as we come out of this timeout. Conroe already ready on defense, waiting for the Wildcats to come back. Ball at the Wildcat 31-yard line. 4 wide receiver set. It's an empty backfield. Quarterback with a 3-step drop, looking to throw across the middle. Has his man open, brought down, not brought down. Runs through some arm tackles and gets himself out of bounds just short of the 50-yard line at the 49. That'll stop the clock at 55 seconds. And the Wildcats getting some chunks of yardage as they get themselves into scoring position. Their first field goal, a 38-yard field goal, so their kicker has a bit of a leg. And we'll see what the Wildcats can do with this possession. Looking to throw, has to pull back. Looking to run to his left, finds a man open, almost picked off by the Tigers. There's a flag thrown in the backfield. I think this will be a hold against the Wildcats. And they should lose 10 yards on this, so pushing them deeper into their own territory from their 49. This will come back to the 39-yard line. They'll get to repeat 1st down, but it'll be 1st and 20 with 47 seconds left in this half. When those plays break down, the offensive linemen do what they can, and it often results in a hold, and that's what we had here. They'll get to repeat first down, 1st and 20. They'll go with an empty backfield again, 5 wide receiver set. Quarterback with a quick drop, looking across the middle of the field, well defended and out of reach of the wide receiver. Jalen Mickens was the intended target for the Wildcats. That'll bring up 2nd and 20, 42 seconds left in the half. The clock stops. Conroe looking for a fortunate turnover here. Less than a minute left. Try to get some points on the board before the half. It's a low snap. It's a bobbled handoff. Luckily fallen on by the Willis Wildcat quarterback. A couple of Conroe Tigers there is trying to get that fumble, but this will push the Wildcats even further back. The clock is ticking with 1 timeout left for Conroe. It is a 3rd down, looking at about a 25-yard, 3rd and 25. Conroe will use their final timeout, it looks like, to stop the clock with 35 seconds left. So this will be interesting play call. If the Wildcats are content with a 3-point lead, we can expect a run here with Conroe unable to stop the clock. That would probably do it for the first half, although they just added 4 seconds to the clock, so we're now at about 39 seconds. With a 25-second play clock, it could theoretically be a quick stop and then a special teams chance for the Tigers on a punt return or perhaps a blocked punt. Something to turn the tide and get them some points going into half. Conroe will get the kickoff to start the second half. They're keeping it close here. We've been stuck at 17-14 for a while. Willis with a couple of unfortunate penalties here all the way back to the 34-yard line. And that's where they have the 3rd down and 25. Slightly different formation. Looks like it'll definitely be a handoff up the middle. He is stripped of the ball at the line of scrimmage, but falls on it right away. And we have enough time on the clock that Willis will be able to just let this expire to 0. As it is 4th down, neither side with timeouts. We have 15 seconds left in the half, and Willis is already walking it off to the sidelines. They have no intention of even attempting this punt, and Conroe takes the message as they come to the sideline as well. An entertaining first half. It looked like Conroe was going to build on a big early lead, 14-3, but 14 unanswered from Willis makes this a 17-14 Wildcat lead as we go into the half. Conroe will get the ball to start the second half. And just a reminder that we will have the Willis Wildcat Band at halftime, followed by the homecoming festivities and announcement of homecoming king and queen. We will get the Conroe Tiger Band performance immediately following this game, and we will carry it here on our YouTube channel. Y'all make sure you stay with us. The entertaining halftime show coming up, and all those great homecoming announcements as well. We'll be on the air for all of those. And we will be back, of course, for the second half. I'm going to take a quick moment to thank some of the people who are making sure this goes over the air tonight, beginning with our site supervisor, Andrew Stewart. I want to thank all the people who are making sure we're on the air. Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Nathan Goins, Garrett Rickwalt, Laura Dickey, Eliana Del Aguila, William J. Blackburn. My name is Nick Kroll. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait for the second half. I hope you all stay with us.
Tonight's performance will feature music from The Shape of Water by Alexander Desplat and Blue Redondo by The Turk. The performance tonight is a work in progress taste of what the band and guard are preparing this year for this year's competitive marching season. We hope you will enjoy seeing the show grow and develop and develop. Conroe High School homecoming king and queen candidates who will be appearing in alphabetical order. Introducing our first candidate for king, Mr. C.J. Hernandez. C.J. is the son of Dora and Carlos Hernandez. Carlos is a member of the Conroe Tiger Band, where he serves as vice president and the tuba section leader. C.J. also a member of the men's volleyball team, Mu Alpha Theta, and manager of the soccer team. After graduation, C.J. would like to attend Texas State and study to become a dentist. He's escorted by his mom and dad tonight. Introducing our first candidate for queen, Miss Caitlin Wong. Caitlin is the daughter of Martha Martinez and Richard Wong. Caitlin is a member of the Academy of Science and Health Professionals, National Honor Society, and active participant in Conroe ISD Science Fair. After graduation, Caitlin will be studying environmental engineering at Sam Houston State University. She is escorted by her mom and dad this evening. Introducing our next candidate for king, Mr. Braden Jones. Braden is the son of Jacqueline Harris. Braden is a member of the Conroe Tiger varsity football team and would like to continue his education, studying business and marketing. Tonight, he is escorted by his mom. Introducing our next candidate for queen, Miss Bernaya Maxey. Bernaya is the daughter of Whitney and Clarence Benson. Bernaya is a student body president, member of the Golden Girls, the Academy of Science and Health Professionals, National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Spanish Honor Society, and EFTA Next Generation Leadership Alliance. After graduation, Bernaya hopes to attend the University of Texas and major in radio, television, and film. Bernaya is escorted by her mom and dad tonight. Introducing our next candidate for king, Mr. Chad Morris. Chad is the son of Monica and Seth Morris. He is a member of the varsity, choir, guitar, and Conroe Tiger varsity football team. Chad hopes to attend Dallas Baptist University to major in theology and minoring in music. Introducing our next candidate for queen, Miss Kiki McCook. Kiki is the daughter of Keisha Hatcher. She is a member of the Girls Empowering Movement Society, DECA. Through her high school years, she has also been a part of volleyball, track, and the Academy of Science and Health Professionals. Kiki plans on going to medical school at HBCU, getting her doctorate, and dreams of traveling. She is escorted tonight by her mom and little sister. 2022 homecoming queen is Miss Brendaya Maxey. Congratulations to the new king and queen and to all of our great candidates. Don't forget to attend this year's 2022 Conroe High School Alumni Association's annual homecoming breakfast tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. in the Conroe High School cafeteria. This year's honored class and host is the class of 1982. Cost is $10 per person, and there will be baskets per auction. Please come and support this fundraiser for scholarships for Conroe High School graduating seniors. Kickoff, Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to join us after the game as the Conroe Tiger Band performs their show, Where the Current Leads.
All right, and that concludes the homecoming portion of the halftime show. We've got about 3 minutes left till we start the second half. And just a reminder that you will get the performance from the Conroe Tiger Band after the game, when we will bring that to you on this YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody for sticking around or for joining us for the second half here. We are in store for a good second half. Conroe will receive the ball to start the second half. They trail Willis 17-14. Conroe off to an early start. took a 14-3 lead over Willis after an early Willis field goal gave them a quick 3-0 lead. Conroe with 14 unanswered points to take a 14-3 lead in the second quarter. Willis responded with 14 unanswered of their own, and that's where we currently stand here at halftime, 17-14. Willis came in with a 1-2 record. They were winners in the opening week against Rudder out of Bryan, and that was a big win for the Willis Wildcats, 73-14. Then they were take a loss in their second week to Temple, 34-20, before losing last week to New Caney, 62-28. Conroe, on the other hand, coming off of a 2-game winning streak, and they'd love to make it a 3-game streak after tonight. Opened the season with a 14-3 loss to Katy Pato, and then followed that with a couple of big victories over Eisenhower, 56-7, and then last week to open district play, Conroe 55-14 winners over Caney Creek. And as you know, this is homecoming weekend for the Conroe Tigers, and we had the big announcement at the half. If you missed it, we have the 2022 homecoming king and queen. So we would like to congratulate the homecoming king, CJ Hernandez, and the homecoming queen, Branaya Maxey. And the student section very loud for all the candidates this year for homecoming king and queen. Last year's homecoming game was a victory for Conroe. It was a close 44-41 win over Oak Ridge. And they're looking to turn it around in the second half here to continue their homecoming game winning streak. Next week, Conroe will travel down south to take on the Woodlands, and Willis will play host to Grand Oaks. Now, Willis came in with the top-ranked offense in District 13, averaging 442 yards a game. Conroe's offense not far behind, averaging 398 yards a game. The difference in this game should have been defense, as Conroe come in sporting the #1 defense in district, holding opponents to 246 yards per game, while Willis, towards the bottom of the district rankings, they allow just under 400 yards a game, 375 yards a game. So the Conroe offense going to look to get it going in the second half against the Wildcats. On the season, Conroe has a +4 advantage in turnovers, Willis with a -2. However, the story on tonight's game is several turnovers. A couple special teams mistakes for the Tigers gave Willis short field position in which they capitalized. And they went into half with a 3-point lead. Like I said, Conroe will receive the second half kickoff, and they're getting ready to take the field to get this second half started. One of Conroe's 2 scores was on a special teams play. They returned a punt for a 38-yard touchdown. And that was the last score that the Tigers were able to put on the board this evening, but that should change here in the second half as they have made their adjustments during halftime. They are on the field and ready. They'll start with 3 back to receive this kickoff. 2 men on either side of the hash marks. They're set up at the 10-yard line. And they'll go a little deeper in the center, it looks like, setting up closer to the 5. He now takes a few steps closer to the 10. Willis going to kick from the left hash marks. Willis will be defending the east end zone. Conroe going west to east on this possession, or right to left on your screen. Left-footed kick. It's a squib kick. They've done a few of these. This one is fielded cleanly at the 24, but then slips and falls down, so no gain. But a clean possession for Conroe. They will start this drive. They'll mark it at the 25 for them. And the Tigers will try to get something started on offense. They had a lot of success early on in this game. Their first drive stalled out with a fumble. They were able to recover from that following a 38-yard field goal from the Wildcats to put 14 points on and take that early 14-3 lead. We now sit 17-14 Willis. We have a packed house here at Moorhead Stadium. Plenty of people enjoying this beautiful September evening in Conroe, homecoming weekend. And the Tigers looking to get something started here in the second half. They take the field with 4 wide receiver set, 1 running back in the backfield. They put Lewis Williams in motion. He'll take the pitch. He's looking for some running room. He's shifting up to the 35-yard line where he's brought down after a 5-yard gain. So after I said they spot the ball at the 25, I was incorrect. That ball was at the 30. And the gain of 5 brings it up to the 35-yard line. It's 2nd and 5. Conroe going with an empty backfield and a 5 receiver set, 3 to the right. Quarterback with a quick drop, looks across the middle, has his man, overthrows him off the chest of a Willis Wildcat. The pass will fall incomplete. Lewis Williams, the intended target. A little too much mustard on that pass. And the excitement of this homecoming game. The adrenaline coming out of halftime, trying to reclaim this lead, and a bit of an overthrow. Brings up an important 3rd down early in this half, 3rd and 5. From their own 35-yard line, they'll go with the 5 receiver set, 3 wide receivers to the right. Empty backfield, quarterback takes the snap, quick drop, looking to his right, shifts to the left, nobody to throw to, gonna tuck and run. A little bit of running room, makes it up to the 39, kind of twisted backwards. They'll give him forward progress at the 39. That's a yard short of the 1st down. It looks like Conroe not gonna risk a short field for Willis, and they've also had a couple of special teams mistakes. Bad snap on the punt team resulted in a turnover. They've missed a field goal wide right, which would have tied this game at 17. They'll try to get off a clean punt here. Punter back at the 24-yard line. It is a good snap. He gets the kickoff. This will take a Conroe bounce inside the 25-yard line, and a really great punt as they're going to let it go to the 20 and down it at the 19-yard line. So a great punt from the Tigers. Gives Willis a long field to navigate on their first possession here in the second half. 10 minutes and 22 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Both offenses operate without a huddle, and they both operate from the shotgun. That's a little bit different from last week when we saw a Caney Creek team that was much more deliberate than either of these offenses. Most offenses resemble what Willis and Conroe have going on. Operating out of the shotgun, multiple wide receivers, and very often an empty backfield. They have 1 running back in the backfield. It will be a handoff as he drops his shoulder and tries to get more than a yard, maybe 2. And that'll bring the ball up to the 22-yard line with just over 10 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. North side of the stadium is the home side, and there is not a empty seat to be had on this side of the stadium. Looking to throw across the middle, has his man, throws it above his head. It is well defended. Wide receiver had cut that route where he had the angle. Throw out of reach and incomplete, brings up a 3rd and 8. Willis quickly to the line of scrimmage. They will shift their 5 wide receiver set to have 3 to the right, 2 wide receivers to the left. It is an empty backfield. Quarterback with a quick drop, looks across the middle, has his man, and the play on the ball is incomplete. Willis trying to get a flag for pass interference, but I feel like that was a very clean play on the ball.
well defended. Pass is incomplete, brings up a 4th down. They actually have a penalty flag. I think it's going to go against Willis. I'd imagine they decline this to bring up a 4th down. So it is a holding penalty, but Conroe elects to decline that penalty. It'll bring up 4th and 8. Deep in Willis territory will force the punt team onto the field. So a great defensive series for the Conroe Tigers coming out of halftime. A quick 3 and out for the Wildcats, and that'll give Conroe their 2nd offensive series of this half. Punt returner on his own 47-yard line. Left-footed punter gets a good one off. This will land at the 50. Take a Willis bounce. It is picked up in a risky way by the Conroe Tiger. He is brought down at the 35-yard line. And that's where the Tigers will start their 2nd possession of the 2nd half. Khalil Willis with the punt return. They'll start on the left hash mark. They're on the 36-yard line. It's a 1st and 10. There's 9 minutes, 36 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Bit of a different formation. They've got 4 wide receivers set. They are close to the line of scrimmage. Number 13 in motion from left to right. This is a rollout to the right. Quarterback going to set his feet. Decides to keep it and run. Brought down from behind at the line of scrimmage. And thrown out of bounds right at about the 35-yard line. I think they'll keep it at the original line of scrimmage and spot this at the 36. Second and 10. Tigers get to the line of scrimmage. Slot receiver getting set. Man in motion. It's a handoff to number 7, I believe, and he drops his shoulder, tries to get some room to run, maybe 2 to 3 yards. They'll mark it at 38. A gain of 2. They'll bring up I see it as a 3rd and 8. The board has it as a 3rd and 7. Let's just say they have to get it to the 46-yard line to get this 1st down. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 wide right. Running back in motion to the right. Quarterback looks to his left, has his man, number 5 with the reception, looking for some room to run and pick up that 1st down. Not a lot of running room, brought down close to the 40. They might give him to the 41, but that's well short of the 1st down. And Conroe will be forced to punt yet again with about 8.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So their 2nd offensive series. Can't get a lot going. And they'll play it safe as they don't have great field position or a really good 4th down yardage to go for it here early in the 2nd half. Another bad snap on the punt. That's the 3rd of the night, and a tackle which causes the fumble. The recovery by Willis. That'll give them the ball deep in Conroe territory on the 10-yard line. That is the 3rd instance of excellent field position for the Willis Wildcats, following a special teams problem with the snap. Conroe Tigers defense has to be thinking turnover, or the worst case scenario, perhaps a field goal attempt. They certainly want to keep them out of the end zone. Willis already has a 3-point lead, 17-14. There's 8 minutes, 4 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. It's a handoff up the middle. There's no running room. Conroe in the backfield with a big tackle. And that is Maddox Rodell with the tackle. Looks like they spotted it as a yard run. Looks like the ball's on the 9-yard line now, and it's 2nd and goal from the 9. Wildcats operate out of the shotgun, putting the running back in motion. A bit of a pump fake, finds his man in the end zone. That is a pass complete for a touchdown to DeBron Hampton. And Willis will tack on 6 more and take a 23-14 lead over the Tigers with a point after try coming up. Not as easy as it looks, folks. A couple weeks ago, I took a challenge of kicking an extra point, and I did not make it in about 5, maybe 7 tries. This kicker makes it look easy. Although there's a flag on the play, and they'll call a false start penalty against the Wildcats. They'll make that chip shot a little bit more difficult as they'll step off 5 yards. They'll have to make this from the 15-yard line. I beg your pardon, there seem to be, okay, they are coming back with the holder setting up on that 15-yard line. This kicker has plenty of leg. Let's see how accurate he is from this distance. Setting up in the middle of the field. Extra point try. And this is perfect. Right down the middle, 24-14 lead for the Willis Wildcats. 7 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter. We are celebrating homecoming here at Conroe High School, and we're hoping that things can turn around here with plenty of time left in the second half. For Conroe to fight their way back, they're down 14 points. They've got the offense to do it, averaging 398 yards a game. And Javarius Hatchett, responsible for 731 passing yards coming into tonight. 8 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He does have an interception on this evening. That's still a very good touchdown to interception ratio. And he's going to look to lead his team down the field for a score on this drive. Pull Conroe right back within a score of the Willis Wildcats. 7:24 on the clock. Left-footed kicker from the left hash mark. Likes to do the squib kick. This one's going to be recovered at the 25-yard line. Brought up to the 30, looking for some room to run. There's nothing doing. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Decent field position to start on this possession. The third of the second half for the Tigers. They did receive the kickoff to start the second half. They had a little more success moving the ball in the first quarter against the Wildcats. And they'll look to regain some of the momentum on this series as they now face a 10-point deficit, 24-14. They start from their own 30. Triple set to the left. They put a slot man in motion, but it's a handoff up the middle. He does have some room to run. And a big chunk of yardage, about 7-yard gain on the carry. Brings it up to the 37-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Nick Medina, the junior running back, on the carry. They'll go with an empty backfield, 5 wide receiver set. Puts his man in motion. It will be a handoff to number 1. He takes the cut. He's up the field to midfield and past the 50 down to the 49 or 48-yard line, depending on the spot. And the officials say it's actually on the Conroe side still, so didn't make it past midfield, but made it to the 49-yard line. And a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Conroe moving the ball against this Wildcat defense. Looking for an effective series to get back in this game. They lead 24-14. There's 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Empty backfield, number 5 in motion. Little movement on the Wildcat line, gets back in position, quarterback drop. Looking downfield, time to throw. He's going to tuck and run. gets hit from behind, puts him past midfield, and they'll mark him down at the 49-yard line. So a 2-yard gain. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. This is a handoff to number 1. After looking like he might get stopped for a yard, puts his shoulder down, gets about 3 more. That's Nick Medina on the carry. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Another handoff to Medina. He makes a cut and gets the 1st down, brings it past the 35 down to the 30. A big gain on the ground for the Tigers. They get it marked on the Willis 29-yard line, and they'll get a new set of downs from that carry as we get close to 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Very interesting change in approach as Conroe has shifted to several running plays to move the ball against the Wildcat defense. And it's another handoff, this time to number 7. He's got some room to run as well, gets about 5 yards on the carry. And that's Jermichael Green, sophomore running back for the Tigers with a big carry. Gets the ball down to the 25-yard line. And that'll make it 2nd and 6. Conroe has to get to the 19 for a new set of downs. 2 wide receivers on either side. The slot on the right in motion. It's a quarterback keeper, and it looks like a face mask. Flags coming in. This should be half the distance to the goal from the 20-yard line, and give Conroe a 1st and goal from the 10 if, in fact, that's the call. So a face mask call against the defense, typically a 15-yard penalty. Being as they were at the 20, they will just make this half a distance and mark it at the 10. They will get an automatic 1st down, and it will be 1st and goal with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So having more of a commitment to the run has made this quarter go relatively quickly, as we are now inside 4 minutes. They are having success moving the ball. They're going to keep it on the ground. Number 7 with a lot of running room brings it inside the 5, drops the shoulder, gets down to the 2-yard line before being brought down. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal with 2 yards to go. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Conroe coaches trying to get the attention of their offense. They're now set. Quarterback takes a snap, handoff to number 7, runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. Conroe's 1st score of the 2nd half came at just the right time. A lot of momentum going Willis's way. Conroe bringing themselves right back into this game, this homecoming Friday night. They now have 20 on the board pending this extra point. They trail 24-20. Let's make it 24-21 with this kick. Again, I have a new appreciation for kickers and extra points, as I discovered I am unable to do these myself. They make it look relatively easy. That one looks relatively easy. Extra points good. Conroe 21. Willis still with the lead. They've got 24. Conroe with a couple of good adjustments. They were able to put some points on the board here in the 3rd quarter. There's 3 minutes, 22 seconds left. Conroe defense has been looking good this evening. The only trouble coming when Willis has been given a very short field to work with. So hopefully a good kickoff here. Conroe defense can get a quick 3 and out, get the offense right back on the field, and they can do what they just did, march down the field and put 7 more on the board. Next week, district games. Conroe will be at Wood Forest Bank Stadium to take on the Woodlands High School.
And Willis will be back home to host Grand Oaks. Conroe coming in with a 2-1 record. Willis with a 1-2 record. Conroe looking for a 3-game winning streak. Position themselves towards the top of the district. New Caney, the only undefeated team still in district play. 3 players back for Willis. 2 outside the hash marks on the 5, 1 on the goal line. In the middle, that's where this one's going to end up. He's going to field it at the 2, advance it to the 10, cuts it at the 15 to the 20, breaks a tackle, makes it 25 to the 30, back inside of the 35 before he's finally brought down just short of the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 39, a big return for the Wildcats. Gives them pretty good field position here late in the 3rd quarter. We've got 3 minutes and 14 seconds left. Willis leads 24-21. If you're just joining us a little bit late here in the 2nd half, halftime announced the homecoming queen and king for Conroe High School. Homecoming queen is Brenaya Maxey. And congratulations to the homecoming king, CJ Hernandez. Willis quickly back out on offense, 4 wide receiver set. They will hand it off to number 6, has some running room up the middle past the 45-yard line and close to midfield. That's DeBron Hampton, the junior running back with the carry. They are quick to the line, no huddle offense. Handoff again up the middle. This one stopped. Appears to be just short of the 1st down. They might have to take the chains out for this, or they may just wave it ahead depending on the stop. So they will say short of the 1st down, no measurement needed, 3rd and inches from their own 48-yard line. Quarterback keeper off the snap. He falls down behind the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. That is a loss of almost 4 yards. And that was exactly what Willis did not want to happen there on that 3rd and short. They thought they could pick up an easy yard. Quarterback kind of ran into the back of someone, lost his footing, and down at the 46-yard line. Now a good punt will pin Conroe back deep in their own territory. But they do have a 38-yard punt return on the evening. So we can see what's going to happen here from their special teams. This one is punted clean and lands at about the 27-yard line before taking a Willis bounce and then going out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It looks like they will mark it at the 23 or 24-yard line is where it looks like the Tigers will get to start this drive. We have 1 minute and 39 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Willis leads 24-21, but Conroe with the last 7 points on the board following a successful offensive series. Few pass attempts and a lot of rushing. Conroe showed an ability to move the ball against the Wildcats. They'll stay committed to the run, and a lot of running room for number 13. Uses wide receivers as blockers and makes it to the outside. He's hit late on the sideline. I'm surprised they do not throw a flag on that. I might be the only one, though, as I see the Conroe coaches. Maybe one of them giving an earful to the officials, but by any measure, that was definitely a late hit. Tigers don't argue. They get right back on the field. It's a handoff, a couple of juke moves, brings it past the 35-yard line. That's enough for the 1st down. He'll make it forward to the 37, and they'll move the chains. There's 1 minute 7 on the clock. They keep the clock moving now, so we will approach 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. New set of downs for the Conroe Tigers. 1st and 10, 4 wide receiver set. Slot man on the left in motion, takes the handoff. That's number 13. Runs into the back of his blockers. That is Nigel Leday with the carry. Brings it past the 40 and up to
Looks like the 41-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. Taking their time getting the play in. We have less than 30 seconds left in this quarter as the clock ticks down close to 20 seconds. They will get this snap off before the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a handoff. Not a lot of running room. Wildcats making it to the backfield successfully, and that'll be going in the wrong direction. It's about a yard loss. Brings the ball back to the 40-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Folks, that was a fast 3rd quarter as we are looking at zeros on the clock, and that brings us to the final quarter of tonight's game. Conroe scratching their way back into this. Willis leads 24-21 as they will switch sides and get this 4th quarter underway. I want to take a quick moment to thank everybody who gets this game on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube page. Beginning with our site supervisor, Andrew Stewart, and then all the people who are making sure this goes over the air and you can hear my voice and the picture looks clean and they got all those great shots of the fans. I want to thank Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Nathan Goins, Garrett Rickwalt, Laura Dickey, Eliana Del Aguila, William J. Blackburn, and I'm Nick Kroll. I have the best job up here. I get to sit in the press box and watch Friday Night Football and bring it to you guys over this YouTube channel. Shout out to my people at Cryer Intermediate. We are a feeder school for the Conroe Tigers. So we've been doing our Spirit Days this week for homecoming. We have fun over there. Our kids look forward to coming here, and we get them excited for these games. I know I have several students in the stands tonight. I've seen a few, and then I hear from them on Monday about how much fun they have coming to these games. Hopefully we give them a great 4th quarter. We are underway. It is a big 3rd down, looking to throw, has a little bit of time, scrambles, looking for room to run, has nothing going, makes it just past the 40, dives forward to the 41, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Keeping this game close, 24-21 Willis. Conroe's going to elect a punt. We were very early in the 4th quarter. No desperation at this time. Conroe's defense has also been able to contain Willis to some extent here in the 2nd half. Willis with 1 touchdown. There is a flag. This is going to be an illegal substitution, I believe. Conroe had a man running out late. So it is an illegal substitution. It's a 5-yard penalty, so just gives them a little more room to kick. They will now punt. Snap will come off at the 36. Punter set up at the 21. They have had troubles with the snap. This one is on target. He gets the punt off. It's a line drive. It takes a Conroe bounce. The returner's going to have to get out of the way, and a very fortunate punt down to the 15-yard line before it's down by the Tigers. So a great punt following some special teams problems on the punt side of the ball. This one takes a great bounce, goes deep inside Willis territory, and they will start this series from their own 15. There's 11 minutes and 2 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Conroe wants a quick 3-and-out from Willis. They'd love to get this ball back, either through a punt, or let's get a turnover on this possession deep inside Willis territory. Conroe defense set and ready. It's a pistol formation with the running back behind the quarterback in shotgun. They'll throw an early flag before the snap. Tigers are pointing at the Willis side of the ball, and it is a false start penalty. They'll walk off 5 yards, and it'll bring up a 1st and 15, and now they're on their own 10-yard line to start this drive. One running back in the backfield. Quarterback with a quick release to his right, has a wide receiver open and room to run. He fumbles it at the end of that play. I believe Conroe recovers. The official call says Conroe ball. So that is the turnover that the Tigers needed. And this was a quick pass where wide receiver had a lot of room to operate in. But then 3 Tigers converge. And he fumbles before he gets marked down. So a great turnover for the Conroe defense gives this offense a short field for the first time tonight. They'll be operating starting from their own, or excuse me, from the Willis 28-yard line. And we have 10 minutes, 54 seconds left in this game. It's a low snap. Quarterback recovers, rolls to his right, looks for his receiver, and it's nearly picked off by the Wildcats. A dangerous throw to the sidelines. Conroe going through the air for one of the first times in the last several plays, as they have been committed to their rushing attack here in the second half, and they've had a measure of success with it. Most of the third quarter spent working the clock, getting their rushing game going. This is a handoff to number 7. He's looking for room to run. He has a little bit of room up the middle, and after an initial hit close to the line of scrimmage, managed to scrape out 5 yards on that carry to bring up 3rd and 5. And again, the no-huddle offense is what these teams are running tonight. So Conroe will stick with a 5-receiver set. They like to move those wide receivers into the backfield on occasion, but they will go with an empty backfield set here. Number 7 is D'Amico Green. He's in motion from left to right. He will go wide right. Quarterback takes the snap, quick drop, looking to his right. There is a whistle on the play, and I believe, pointing to the Willis side, I don't see a flag. Maybe it's a timeout. And it will be the first timeout used by Willis in the second half here. They'll have 2 remaining. Conroe has all 3 of their timeouts left. We have 10 minutes, 8 seconds left in this game. 24-21, Willis lead after a quick 14-3 lead by Conroe. Willis was able to put some unanswered points up on their own. We currently stand 24-21. Conroe looking at a big 3rd down when we come out of this timeout. They'll need 6 yards to pick up the first down. And I could only speculate as to, without the first down, if they're actually in field goal territory. I think they're a bit outside of that right now. If it was from this line of scrimmage, you're looking at approximately a 43-yarder. It seems a bit long to me. I would think if it is outside of that field goal zone, that this is probably 4-down territory, as they're deep enough in Willis territory to try a couple downs to pick up the 6 yards. Just over 10 minutes left in the game, trailing by 3. Tigers up to the line of scrimmage. Empty backfield. 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. The snap is good. It's a quick drop. He's looking downfield. Bit of pressure. He throws it, underthrows it. There's nobody around but the Willis Wildcats. I do not believe it's an interception. They do call it an interception. I thought this hit the field, but they're saying a clean catch by the Wildcat defender, and that is a costly turnover for Conroe, as they had made it deep inside Willis territory. I don't know if it was a miscommunication on a route, but there was not a Tiger in the vicinity of that throw. But there were, in fact, 3 Wildcats, and one of them got their hands under the ball, and that's where they'll take over from. Quick throw to the right, caught by number 11, goes through an arm tackle before he's being brought down at about the 16, maybe 17-yard line. They'll mark him at the 16, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 4. We're now inside 10 minutes left in this game as the clock ticks towards 9:40. Operating out of the pistol, running back behind the quarterback. He takes the handoff. Actually, it is a quarterback keeper, so they fooled me. And he gets a big run on the right side before being forced out of bounds past the 30, and they'll mark him at the 31. They're going to say he stepped out at the 30-yard line. Enough for a first down. New set of downs. 9:30 left in the game. Clock stops with the out-of-bounds play. Quick throw to the right sideline. Picks up some blocks and gets about 6 or 7 yards on that reception. This will bring up a 2nd and 4. Clock stopped at 9:23. Quick to the line, shotgun snap, another quick throw to the right sideline. They'll do the same. Defenders converge for the tackle, and they're going to mark him at the first down marker, and they'll move the chains, get a new set of downs, and this will be spotted on the 40-yard line. So Willis with a couple of quick first downs on this possession. They're holding on to a 3-point lead tonight, 24-21. We're approaching 9 minutes left in this game. They'll commit to the ground and hand off. He makes a break over the right side of the line and then has a lot of running room. Drops his shoulder before being forced out of bounds at the Conroe 32-yard line. That will also stop the clock at 8:56. Willis trying to get the snap off. Conroe defenders trying to get off the field. They're off just in time. It's a quick throw to the sideline again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage this time. Conroe getting wise to that. That's the 3rd time they've done a quick throw to the sideline like that, and this one was almost defended very well as that defender tried to jump that route and get in front of that. Unable to do that. They did make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, and that'll bring up I believe it's 2nd down and 12. They're showing 3rd on the field. I believe it's 2nd down. Looking to throw deep. Has his man, and it is well defended and knocked away at the last minute. Very well defended on that play. And I'd love to give credit to, I believe, Tate Trantham, with a great defensive move on that wide receiver. They're trying to get some players in. We're going to say, I believe, timeout Conroe. They didn't have the right personnel out. Wildcats trying to get a quick snap in. It's 3rd and 12. And Tigers want to make sure they've got the right people out there. Not 12 men on the field. Not a time for a penalty. And they'll use their first timeout of the 2nd half. There's 8 minutes, 24 seconds left in this game. Conroe trails 24-21. Willis is marching into Conroe territory, but they've got a 3rd and 12 that they'll be coming out of this halftime to try to pick up. Conroe defense looking for the stop. My guess is they are outside of their field goal range. However, Willis kicker is responsible for a 38-yard field goal early in the game, so he does have a bit of a leg on him. Right now the ball's at the 34, so you're looking at well over a 50-yard field goal if they were to go for it from there. Not to say that this is 4-down territory either, as they do have a 3-point lead. So a big 3rd down for the Tiger defense as they come out of this timeout. 8:24 left in this game. They trail by 3. It's a 3rd and 12 for the Wildcats. Quarterback will take a drop. He's looking across the middle. He has a wide receiver. It's well defended yet again. And it's an incomplete pass. Isaiah Pruitt, junior defensive back for the Tigers, on the coverage, and a great defensive stop for these Conroe Tigers. So this will be a punt that Willis will try to pin the Tigers back deep in their own territory. And I think outside of a blocked punt or a punt return, the best the Tigers can hope for here is that it gets kicked into the end zone and they'll get the ball at the 25. You don't want it inside the 10. Let's see what kind of foot he has and what kind of control. He almost goes straight up. It's not a very good punt at all. It's at the 30. It takes a Conroe bounce, and the Wildcats will down it at the 33-yard line. So my best guess as to what would happen proves to be completely off track. And this benefits Conroe as they will get the ball on their own 33-yard line. With 8 minutes and 13 seconds left in this game, they trail by 3. They have had success in the second half here, moving the ball against the Willis defense. They've had a few dangerous throws and one that actually did get intercepted. So let's see if they stick with the run game that seemed to be successful in the third quarter, or if they're going to try to mix it up on the Wildcats here. They put a man in motion. It's a fake pitch to the running back before it's a pitch to one of the wide receivers. Has to tuck the ball, which he does to protect it, and gets up to about the 38-yard line. Fought hard for each and every one of those yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Inside of 8 minutes left now, 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Conroe with 4 wide receivers set. Running back in the backfield with the shotgun quarterback. It'll be a handoff to number 7. He takes a cut to the left. He goes around the outside of the line. It's enough for the first down as he tumbles his way past the 43-yard line, and they'll mark him down at the 44. That's Dramico Green. And he's listed as a running back. He is the lead rusher of this Conroe Tiger offense. He often lines up in the backfield, but they'll also split him wide. They like to put him in the slot and put him in motion. A lot of that motion is confusing to the defense as well as to my old eyes as I try to track who has the ball and the numbers. They'll go with a 4 wide receiver set, 13 in motion, wide right to the left side. They're going to throw it to number 3. It is a screen. He gets great blocks from the offensive line, takes it across midfield and down to the 45-yard line for another first down. We're right at 7 minutes left in this game. Conroe marching into Willis territory. They trail by 3. It's 24-21 Wildcats. Tigers would love to finish this drive with 6 points and several minutes off the clock if they can. Empty backfield. Number 7 in motion. It's a fake handoff to him and a quarterback keeper. Tackled around the neck, but not before he gets about a 6 or 7 yard gain down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 4 after that 6-yard gain. Tigers wide receivers all have their back to the line as they look to the sideline and get their call, and then they'll set up with a 5 wide receiver set. Empty backfield, quarterback in shotgun, communicates with his offensive line. Now he's ready, puts his slot man in motion. That's who gets the handoff. Takes it around the right side, cuts it up the middle, down to the 30 before being brought down. That is enough for another first down. And that's Nigel Leday, junior wide receiver with the carry. And a new set of downs. Clock is ticking inside of 6 minutes. We're down to about 5.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Shotgun snap, handoff up the middle. Number 1 with the carry. Not tackled, through the arms. Down to the 10, 5, brought down inside the 5-yard line at the 3. That is a huge gain. It looked like it was about a 3-yard gain and turned it into a big gain. Nick Medina with the carry. As you'll see here, he's hit about, I guess, 5-yard carry and then gets away from all those tacklers. Looks like a horse collar tackle to me. Brought down inside the 5. Now they'll call a timeout. I believe Willis going to use theirs. So that is Willis's, I believe that's their second timeout of the half. It is, so they'll have 1 left. Conroe with 2 of their timeouts left. Clock stops at 5:19. We are well into the fourth quarter. This has been an exciting second quarter, or second half rather. And it followed a very good first half as well. Not a lot of scoring in the second half. Currently at 24-21.
Getting the crowd worked up. It is an exciting part of this game as the Tigers itching to retake the lead, and they have first and goal from the 3 as they come out of this timeout looking to retake the lead for the first time since they had a 14-10 lead in this game early in the second quarter. 5 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. Out of the timeout, Conroe with 2 running backs in the backfield. They will hand off to number 1. He's hit almost immediately. Not a lot of room to run. Might have gained a yard, but it looks like they're going to just mark him down at the line of scrimmage. They'll bring up a second and goal from the 3. And we are right at 5 minutes left in this game. Tigers looking to go to 3-1 on the season if they can get this victory over Willis tonight. This possession proving to be very important. They'll stay with 2 running backs in the backfield. They put number 13 in motion. Quarterback keeper. He's going to make his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Conroe. They retake the lead for the first time tonight since their lead early in the game, 27-24. And they will try to make this a 4-point game with this extra point. There's 4.5 minutes left in the game. Setting up for the point after try. It's a good snap. The kick is up. Kick is good. Conroe retakes the lead with 4 minutes and 28 seconds left in this game. 28-24 over Willis. They're going to try to get that defense out there to get a big stop and wrap up this homecoming game with a close victory over their Willis Wildcats rivals. If this score holds, Conroe goes to 3-1, and Willis would drop to 1-3. You did not miss the Conroe marching band. They will perform immediately following this game as they dedicated their halftime activities to the homecoming court and the King and Queen candidates. So we'll take a quick moment to recognize the 2022 homecoming queen, Brenaya Maxey, and the 2022 homecoming king, CJ Hernandez. Congratulations to both of them. And again, stay tuned after this game. We will give you the Conroe Marching Band performance since they have not performed at the halftime. Three players back for the Wildcats. Outside hash marks. They're set up at the 5. Man in the middle, set up on the goal line. This kick is up. It's going to be caught at the 1 and advanced to the 10-15. Hit at the 20, spins around, brought down at the 25-yard line. The crowd is getting into this game, folks. We're in the final 4 minutes and 21 seconds of this homecoming big Friday night football matchup. And I'm not too sure that too many people have left yet. We have had a great crowd. I imagine a lot of them will stick around for that for the after game performance. And the Conroe defense trying to put a cap on this game as the Wildcats take the field with an empty backfield. 5 wide receiver set, quick throw to the right, almost jumped by number 12. Well defended by Brock Ireland. About a half step behind from getting a hand on that, making that a clean interception. He would have brought that to the house for a pick 6. But just a little bit out of reach. Well defended, brings up 2nd and 10. They'll stay with the same formation, 5 wide, 3 on the left. Gets the snap. Looking to throw deep. Throws it a little short. Well defended again.
And that is Isaiah Pruitt once again. Step for step with the wide receiver. This again could have been an interception. It was underthrown a little bit, but just very, very well played by Pruitt. And that'll bring up third down, a 3rd and long. Clock stops at 4:13, deep in their own territory. Willis will almost certainly have to punt if they can't convert this. So a big 3rd down. Looking to throw to his right, chased out of the pocket. Has a man on the sideline, but it is incomplete. A huge defensive series for the Tigers. And that is going to force a punt from Willis with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left. Willis only has 1 timeout left, so they really can't work the clock. And Conroe has been able to pick up yards on the ground, so if they commit to the run here, which I imagine they will have a chance to run out this clock and secure this victory. They lead 28-24. They've got to be on the lookout for any shenanigans. But this will, in fact, be a punt. It is up, and it'll land at midfield, take a Willis bounce. Conroe needs to stay away from this, and they will down it at the 40. That brings us inside 4 minutes. 3:55 left in this game. Tigers looking to secure this homecoming victory over the Willis Wildcats. While they're taking their time to get back on the field, this will be the last time that I thank everybody who worked so hard to get this broadcast over the air on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. Andrew Stewart, Ryan Dickey, Robert Davidson, Nathan Goins, Garrett Rickwalt, Laura Dickey, Eliana Del Aguila, William J. Blackburn, and I am Nick Krall. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are here every Friday. If we have Thursday games, we broadcast those as well, and we also give you the games from Wood Forest Bank Stadium. I love it here at Moorhead Stadium. These games are exciting. It's a handoff to number 3. He's looking for some running room. He's got some positive yards. He's still on his feet. Should have been about a 3-yard gain. He makes it a 9-yard gain. So they are running hard, and they certainly would like to secure this victory. As we are now 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. There is absolutely zero urgency from Conroe, and who can blame them? They've got a full 20 seconds left on the play clock. There is no hurry to get this snap off. Put a man in motion. It's a handoff to number 1. He's got the 1st down and then some up to the 45-yard line in Willis territory. That'll move the chains, temporarily stop the clock at 3:08 as they get a new set of downs. And this one will be 1st and 10 from the Willis 45-yard line. Willis with only 1 timeout, electing not to use it this early. Maybe after this carry, depending on what kind of yardage Conroe gets. And they are taking their time, as you would expect them to do with a 4-point lead late in this game. The play clock inside of 10 seconds. Quarterback in shotgun, has a running back there with him. It'll be a handoff. Securing the ball, met by a lot of tacklers after about 2 yards, and they'll mark him at the 43-yard line. This will be an injury timeout, as a matter of fact, so they'll stop the clock. Next week, Conroe on the road, going down south to take on the Woodlands High School. And Willis will be going back home to take on Grand Oaks to continue District 13 play. Last week was an interesting game here at Moorhead Stadium as Conroe played as the visitors, and their fans took the visitors' side of the bleachers, and I believe that was probably the only time that they've actually been the visitors here at Moorhead Stadium, because of course this is also the home field for the Caney Creek Panthers, and that was the game last week. Tigers on the winning end of that particular game last week. They came in 2-1.
They would love to go undefeated in district play, early in district play, with a win tonight and extend their record on the season to 3-1. As it stands, it's 28-24. So this is an injury timeout, meaning as soon as they say we are good coming out of this, let's start this clock again. But now Willis will burn their last timeout to stop the clock officially at 2 minutes and 22 seconds left.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the safety of the players and coaches, it is a policy of Conroe Independent School District to not allow spectators onto the field after the game. Again, no one is allowed entry onto the field.
And while we have this quick break in action, I do want to remind you to keep us on after the conclusion of the game so you can check out the Conroe marching band performance that did not take place at halftime due to the homecoming court announcement, or I should say like the homecoming king and queen coronation. As we come out of this timeout, there's 2:22 left in the game. Conroe leads 28-24. It's 2nd and 8 from the Willis 43-yard line. I would be surprised if we see anything but a designed run play here. Man in motion, that's who will get the handoff. Looking for some running room, hitting the backfield, and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out late. No fumble. Ground caused the fumble, but the clock will run now. Willis out of timeouts. We're ticking inside of 2 minutes left. It's an important 3rd down. If they use most of the play clock, we'll have about a minute 40 when they snap the ball. And they'll need 8 yards to pick up the 1st down. Tigers looking to get it past the 35-yard line. And if they can do that on this down, that'll be the game. And I imagine if they can't pick it up on this, but they get positive yards, then they'll be faced with a tough choice of whether or not to make it a 4-down possession. They use all of the play clock and bring it down to a minute 35 before using their 2nd timeout in the half. They stop the clock with a minute 35 left. They're trying to hold on to this 4-point lead. Best case scenario, a handoff, break off a huge run and get it into the end zone and extend this to 35-24. That would secure the victory. Or just pick up that 1st down and then take a few knees and wrap it up this way. A win is a win at this point. Whether you win by 4 or 11 or 7, a victory would make for a happy crowd here on this homecoming Friday night. Conroe out of the timeout, comes to the line of scrimmage. Ball's at the 43-yard line. Need to get it at the 35 to get this 1st down. Puts a man in motion. Quarterback keeper looking to run, not a lot of room to run. Brought down short of the 40, maybe a yard gain. So this is a tough call. I would go for it on 4th down only because they've had trouble with their punt snaps. You do not want to do anything that would give Willis a short field or a turnover. And if you turn over on downs here, you're only going to give them about 45 seconds to work with, because I imagine they're going to do the same thing again on the Conroe sideline and let this play clock tick all the way down before they use their final timeout. That is, in fact, what they're going to do. And that will stop the clock with 46 seconds left in this game. And it does appear as though they're putting the special teams on the field.
So they'll try, I believe, to pin the Wildcats. Oh, I take this back, folks. They didn't even use a timeout. They just let the play clock expire to give themselves a little bit more room to operate on the punt, I believe, because they took a 5-yard delay game penalty. They still have their timeout. But this actually stops the clock at 45 seconds, and I believe it will stay stopped at 45. They'll turn the play clock back on. A bit nervous up here in the press box as I have seen a couple of bad punt snaps. There have been a couple that have been on target, so let's hope this is a good one. Makes it to the punter, off the punter's foot. This is going to be a good one that will go out of bounds between the 30 and 20. It's always hard to tell where they're going to spot it. And the official says out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So 40 seconds left in this game. Conroe leads 28-24. Willis is getting the ball back with 40 seconds left. 73 yards to the end zone. And the Conroe defense has really tightened up here in the second half. They've given up 1 touchdown, and it was on a very short field. A lot of field to navigate. From the shotgun. Steps back, looking for a deep throw across the middle, has his wide receiver in stride. It is complete before being brought down short of the 30-yard line. A huge gain for the Wildcats. They've got to get into the end zone as they do trail by 4. They're trying to get back to the line. Ball spotted at the 30. Clock is not yet moving. They don't have the chain set. It is a low snap. They say that's spiking the ball to stop the clock. However, players were not set on the Wildcat side of the ball. Conroe coach wants a correction on that call, or even if it was a legitimate spike. Everybody's at the line of scrimmage. There is no call from the officials yet. The crowd is getting into this ending. We have 27 seconds left in this game. The officials are conferencing. They're going to have to communicate with the coaches. And there is a flag. A very persuasive argument from the Conroe. So they call it intentional grounding. Which is a very interesting call. From the shotgun, when you spike it to stop the clock, I don't know why that would have been considered intentional grounding. But that does also burn 10 seconds off the clock. It's 17 seconds in this game. Wildcats ball at the Conroe 35. The clock is ticking. We have 15 seconds left. Drops back, looks for the end zone. Almost intercepted. Number 4 was there. That stops the clock with 11 seconds left. This is a very exciting ending to this game. A little too exciting for some people in the stands. Nervously watching. It is 3rd down. The down really doesn't matter. They've got 2 more shots to try to make it in the end zone here. The crowd is behind the defense here. Loudest they've been all night. Quarterback looking to his left. He's flushed out of the pocket, throws off his back leg. This is well defended and almost intercepted again. But the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 5 seconds left. It all comes down to this final snap. Willis needs to get the end zone. Nothing short of that will help their cause. They trail 28-24. Tigers defense looking to defend this as they are playing a prevent defense. They've got 5 defensive backs deep. Rolls to his right, looking short, and it's incomplete. That's the game, folks. 28-24 winners. Conroe Tigers come from behind victory on homecoming night. A great victory here at Morehead Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us on the Conroe ISD Athletics YouTube channel. Please stick around, enjoy the celebration, and enjoy the marching band performance immediately following this game. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.